Let's see.
If it switches to a 4 down here, then we know that I'm like,
Oh, okay, all right,
because number 3 on there is Jill.
okay. Why can't we see Joe?
Well, we tried to just show her and she declined, so. Because we can promote people to be a panelist. So we just tried to promote her and she declined, so,
You know, she's there in sphere.
yes.
Well, it is 1:00.
But there's a number 4.
Okay,
Say that.
all right. Thank you all for being here. So it's 1:00 and I'm calling this meeting of the Southern Adirondack Library System to order. We're going to do a roll call. Stu Beck. Here. Heather Proctor is not here. Eleanor is not able to be here. Jordan Hornstein.
Present.
Laura Goodman. Present. Carol Kerr is present. Janet Linden. Here. Noel McCrum. Here. Patricia Portello.
Here.
Thomas Chaganoff.
Here.
Margaret Shapiro.
Here.
And Debbie Warnock. Here. Okay, can I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
I so
Noel, and seconded by Margaret. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Approval of the board minutes of October 21st, 2025. Any discussion of the October minutes? Any corrections? And I have a motion to accept the minutes. Janet, seconded by Jordan. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you. Treasurer's report. Do we have a treasurer?
Yeah,
He accepted in such a way that he's able to.
he can show his face. Yeah, could you just go up to Lisa to see if Bob is that person?
Bob is the 4th person. I've promoted him as panelist.
Sure.
So
Okay.
yep.
So, Bob, if you can hear my voice. Can we have a treasurer's report?
Because he needs to accept to be a panelist. So there you go.
He's coming.
His mic is off.
Yeah.
There he is. Oh, there he goes. He was in, oh, there he is.
Okay, I think I'm on now.
Yes, you're here. Thank you.
Okay, treasurer's report. It's been a crazy morning here. So, October treasurer's report. We started off the month of October with $2,297,552. We received Hamilton County aid of $55,000, joint automation fees of $44,000, interest of $5,000, and miscellaneous income of $3,700,
Hey,
for a
Bob.
total of $107,851. And
Bob.
our disbursements.
Can I interrupt you for a second, Bob?
Sure.
So, just so everybody's on the same page, this is the treasurer report, page 4. Is where Bob is at. Just some navigation, plus if you start at page 1, you get tangled up, but go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Our disbursements for the month were $127,614. And that left us with a general fund balance of $2,277,790. And under CDs, we had one CD that actually matured in the month of November, which I did roll over through. It'll now mature on the 11th of January of next year, and the renewal rate is 3.55%. The others are still on. We've got another one that's, well, you can see them. The only one that's changed is the one that's in the center. The warrants you had in your packet, and you had both September and October, because it was one warrant that was originally listed in October that got moved to September because it was an actual September warrant. And it's the one for the 30th of September. So that's a redo of the September warrants that you got last month. Any questions or comments? Or
Any discussion? I guess we accept the treasurer's report. Thank you, Bob. I hope the rest of your day is calmer.
I'm
You're okay.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, get back to my agenda. Executive Director's Report.
So I didn't make as much progress this past month in my visits. I did visit Clifton Park, Half Moon, saw in November, and thanks to Lisa Christopher, I will be making all the rest of the visits in December before Christmas. So we have 4 dates targeted, and I will report those next month. So I'm excited to get everybody on the schedule. A couple of big updates, our work with moving to automating our payroll process with priority 1 payroll is moving forward. Hopefully, fingers crossed, Pamela, myself, and Jill will be trained next week on that system, and then we'll do a train the trainer. We wanted to do it well in advance of the first of the year, first payroll, so everybody was comfortable with it. And knock on wood that we get that training next week, so that's good. Capital District Library Council, we're a member of, they're working on their plan of service. So just an FYI, I did put an email out. They're looking for feedback from all the members. They're doing a survey, and then they're also doing some sessions online. So I did encourage all our member directors to participate, and to encourage anybody on their staff can participate. So I don't know what the outcome of that is in SALS participation, but that is going on right now, just so you're aware. And then with DASNY, with the 2025 state aid, as of today, checking with Pamela, we still have no word. And as you know, last year we knew by October 1st. So we are still waiting to hear on that. I mentioned last month that the Directors Council, Sales Directors Council will be in 2026. They're going to start as they should be on the agenda, giving a report to you all. And if all goes well, Faith St. John, the director of the Argyle Free Library, will be the next council chair. So we look forward to working with Faith and having her report to you all starting next year. So with member services, one thing I just wanted to highlight today is something Jack is in charge of, and that's summer reading, which is always a big, huge library thing. So Jack is going to talk a little bit about that. And if you haven't already, we'll pass these around. He has flyers, handouts.
So these are the intention of this flyer is for member libraries, so they can visit the talking point to discuss what summer reading is like throughout the system. And it was a busy summer. This year's theme was Color Our World. Was by far my favorite artwork that I've ever seen in the summer reading. So registration, the registration rate, you can see that our participation has gotten back to pre-pandemic numbers, which is pretty amazing. It's been a slow and steady climb, but library workers did a lot of programming this year and a lot of work to pull people back into the library. There's so Elephant and Piggy made a visit to Saratoga Springs. There was a, let's see, was that Lake Pleasant? They did their wizard wand making. Lake Pleasant also did like a, I don't know what they call it, frisbee paint or something, where it's like you put the paint on it and then you spin it. On the next page, you'll see that programs have gone up and attendance has gone up. And I've just grabbed a few little stories. Some of these, they might have been in the last report, but this one's from Lake George. One of our favorite moments involved a little boy who attended with our youth commission campers, who told staff that he didn't have any money to take out a book like his friends. The staff member told him that the library bought all the books so that people can borrow them. He could take one home, read it, and bring it back, and get another. His smile was so big, and he was so excited to borrow his first library book. Even bigger smiles the next week. He made fast friends with the library staff. So these are the kind of stories I like to collect from member libraries that we use for advocacy. And pictures. One thing, if you look at the next page, it's reading. This gets a little trickier. I think reading in general is down across the state for teens and young children. But it's also difficult to categorize because we used to mostly only count books read. Then we started counting books read, or some libraries started counting minutes read. So now we have two separate things, and now we have a third that's happened in the last couple of years, last 2 years that I have data for, on here, pages read. So it's just difficult to sort of put all that data into something that's digestible, but there is a lot of minutes read, like over 2 million minutes read. There were over over 2 million pages read too. It's pretty wild. But I did attend the State of the State with the state librarian, and she did mention too that sort of the amount of libraries are busier than ever. You can go on there any day of the week on a Wednesday morning and you see people in the library, but there's less reading done by kids and teens. And then there's just a few talking points for summer reading on the last page. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. And the idea is that also, I shared this with the library directors, if they wanted sort of a more personalized version, they could send me their own pictures and their own quotes, and then they can use this when they do their local efforts.
Do we get money from, for this program? Is it from the, federal money from, the?
IMLS money funds the summer reading manual, access to the summer reading manual from CSLP, which is the Cooperative Summer Reading Program, something like that. And so it funds that, and every library gets one free poster, and IMLS funds that. So those are the two things that are funded through federal money. We occasionally get state money from the Love Your Library Fund. And that was I guess it's in legislation that we're gonna get it this year or next year, but we're not gonna get it because it has to reach a certain threshold of money and the account for it can be distributed, and it's not at that threshold. So we're just not getting any I Love Your Library money this year in 2026.
But Jack, who determines the themes for the summer reading program, and where does that kind of material come from?
So the history, is it CSLP in Michigan? Is that what it is?
They're a group of people
Yeah.
that work together.
It's a small group, and they originally did it for that state, and then it became so popular that it's offered throughout the United States. And they usually plan about 4 or 5 years ahead, so that's 4 years themes are planned. Like this coming summer is dig in at your library, it's like a dinosaur theme. And then they have an annual meeting, and I always send out a survey to member libraries, because you can submit ideas for upcoming summer reading themes. And I think they sometimes give you a chance to vote on them. I know that for us and the posters, I just sent in the order to New York State like a couple weeks ago. And we get a free poster for every library, but there's 3 posters. There's early literacy one, childhood one, and then a teen one. There might be an adult one now, but everyone gets to put in their vote from the youth services people across the state about which one is their favorite, and then whoever, that's the one that we all get. So hopefully we get a fun one.
And not all libraries participate in this program. Some people just do their own thing or go on a whole different. So this is just one path that we have chosen to go on currently.
And not all of our libraries participate in summer reading. And this year, because people like the theme, everyone that participated used this themes, but like last year, it was last year. I can't remember what it was, but there was 3 or 4 libraries that wanted to do something different, because they didn't like that theme.
We have, on display about 20 summer reading posters in the training room. We ever
And I know,
want to see what they've done in years past.
Yeah.
and it's a little odd, right, that it's November and we're just talking about summer reading, but the reason I wanted to point it out, because it is such a big program and Jack just got the numbers collected, because it takes a while. And this is actually time right now that you should be, as a children's librarian, starting to prepare for next year's summer reading program. So I'll have Jack do another presentation when we get closer to summer to show you all what's gonna be happening.
I actually get the code for next year's summer reading manual in September, and I always, whenever I send it out, I always just say, please don't
Kill the message.
kill me. I know you've been through a long summer, and here's next year's manual.
Thanks, Jeff. So just a few more things. In addition to attending a few days of NILA this year, Jack and Jill also attended, as I know at least 3 of you did, right? I don't know if any more than Debbie, Tom, and Carol.
They did.
So yeah, that's good representation from us, and it helps that it's here, fairly close to us.
And if anybody hasn't sent me your receipts for purchasing registration, send them to me, you get reimbursed.
I already gave.
Thank you.
And the only other cool thing I thought, I'm kind of excited about, I don't know a lot because the first meeting hasn't happened yet, but I was invited to be a part of the Saratoga Writers Center initiative, and you see in the report others who are participating. So I am eager to find out what that is going to be all about and how we can work with them, and look forward to giving you more details after I meet with that group. And member library spotlight, which is kind of new to the report. So you can read all of the spotlight items that are there, but I want to congratulate Crandall Library. Their budget passed. Yay. Congratulations, Kathy and team. And then you can see Greenwich, Richards Library, Saratoga Springs, and Lake Pleasant are also represented. So this is a new section to kind of just give you a taste of what people are doing. That would be all I have.
Thank you very much. And, so board committee reports, we have not listed.
Do you want me to go back to Joey?
Oh, yeah.
Just give an update. There's not a whole heck of a lot to report. The agreement between SALS and MDLS is still in the works. That is moving forward to hopefully be finalized early 2026. The biggest thing that happened over the month was that I finalized all the information for the joint automation project manager position that we will be filling in March. And that was posted out to several different groups and online our websites and so on. I put on my LinkedIn page too. So I did that before I left for my trip. We've already had several inquiries and also one application, at least one, not 2 applications. So I'm hopeful that is going to go on smoothly and have a good outcome. The only other thing, and I didn't get to talk to you, and I should have talked before the meeting, I did not get to attend the November 12th meeting because I was away, and I didn't know if there's anything that you had.
Say 2 bullets, and I think you may have touched on them in your written notes. The fees meeting is going to be held on December 10th at Clifton Park at 9:30, and this is where the JA Council discusses with the member libraries the fees that will be part of their budget. It's a 2-year process for a bunch of esoteric reasons. But it's Eric and Kim and Michelle will be sort of soliciting the input. It's important to note that the 2026 library direct contributions are unchanged from 2025. So, we'll figure out how that goes. This is the sort of strategy for going forward from there. And then, they touched on one thing at the JA meeting that was really obscure, but I think it's noteworthy for any group. Apparently they detected a bunch of, spam activities from somebody that was using the domain RN Microsoft, so that the R and the N together look like an M. If your eyes are anything over 22 years old. And so, apparently they took step at, JA to filter those or to block those, recognizing that, but I just thought it was worthwhile for a group to be cognizant of the fact that the first thing to do to make sure you're not getting spammed is check that if it's a good address, and it looks like a good address, but it's not. So. That's it.
It's interesting.
Sneaky.
Okay, done with it.
I just have a question about member, library highlights. Does the director of that library have to send you the information, or is these libraries you've already visited? Because Schuylerville just had a big, referendum that passed. Yeah, with the library expansion, so
So.
that was a big deal.
Great question. And so since it's new, currently it's just the staff giving me things to
I see.
put in. But I'm hoping that as I get to know everybody and am here a little longer, I might have a mechanism for them to submit things.
Yeah, okay.
And that's what my hope is for next year, just since it's only my third report.
Mhm.
I hope by first
Okay.
of the year.
I didn't know if Kate
Yeah.
should have sent something, or if I should have said
I
something.
would like that to happen.
Okay.
But right now it's my staff, myself, just say, hey, people did this, and just to kind of get it going, but I'd like
Sure.
them to submit. I think it
Okay.
would be good.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Board committee reports. We are not listing any board committees because none have met in the last month. I will say that I thought I was over optimistic in getting the bylaws rewritten and reconfiguring committees, so stay tuned. It will probably be early next year that we get that under control. I have nothing else to report on that. Any comments from anyone? All right, unfinished business. Action item, approve SALS 2026 proposed budget, which you've all seen, which Lisa sent out to you again. Kim did send it out to the member library directors, and there were 2 comments back. Do we need to discuss the comments?
One was and I'm sorry, it's going on in my head, was $50,000 towards the
Building
grant,
challenge.
building challenge grant, right, and that it was zeroed out. So if we do get the money, I think that we will just revisit where that goes in 2026 with an amended budget. I'm not saying we 100% would just put that $50,000 back there. I would want to look at it a little closer since I haven't been here and just look at the overall budget first, but that was the one question. Second was a question related to this for the smaller libraries, right? With the benefits, SALS helping provide benefits for the smaller libraries, directors. So I think that's just a topic we can handle in a committee to explore what that could look like and make a recommendation to the board in 2026. But I think that's a committee topic. Do you agree?
Yes. So is there any discussion about the proposed 2026 budget? Would anyone like to make a motion to accept the 2026 budget? Sue and Pat will second it. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, we have a budget. Thank you very much. Discussion, the Queensbury Hotel has provided 2 options for the 2026 Board of Trustees annual meeting. I'm passing those along to you. I'd like you to take it home and peruse it at your leisure. What Kim and I have discussed is the possibility of forming an ad hoc committee to go over the proposal more at a more granular level and come back in January with a proposal for one of the other options. So.
Along with some other things that they could. That the committee could do to help.
Oh, right.
Right.
So other things that this committee could also work on in terms of the annual meeting would be to determine the speaker. To decide if we want to do a giveaway item again, as we have done in the past, to establish costs. To collaborate with the nominating committee if needed about new trustees. To present recommendations on the January 2026 meeting. I'm not.
That's what they'll present, I think, like,
Am I understanding that?
yeah, I think if we could have a goal of the committee. Presenting some
Oh,
recommendations
I
in
see.
January.
All right, I understand. Okay.
And they could also provide some process guidelines and some budget. Guidelines for 2027, so we kind of have more set finite goals and budget instead of just kind of going out there and. Asking for quotes and just, and maybe just re-looking at what the format is. I mean. We've always given a giveaway, but do we continue to give giveaways and spend money on that and just kind of looking at the big picture of the annual?
So I had 3 or 4 people who might like to volunteer. All right, 2 or 3 people who are really interested in food, who would like to volunteer to be on this committee. Don't all raise your hand.
I'll do it.
Thank you, Martin. And Jordan.
It's at the Queensberry.
And I'll be at Hawks, so I'll be there. Anyone else? One more.
When are
thing.
you gonna be?
We don't know yet.
We'll have to put something on the calendar. We could do it virtually, the meetings virtually too.
I'm going on a cruise. We leave the day before Thanksgiving and come back the 10th. So if it's in that time frame, I can't do it.
I would imagine that after the 10th would be fine, because we all have Thanksgiving to deal with and the aftermath thereof, so.
I also have an event that I'm working on the 11th, so I'm not available on the 11th.
All right, well, I'll put you in with an asterisk.
Yeah,
And
okay,
if
well,
not,
I'm happy to help, but I
Okay.
want to be upfront.
thank you. All right. Okay, that's unfinished business, new business. Okay, so approve the letter of engagement from SALS auditing firm, which is, I can never remember their acronym, someone help me. UHY LLP. Yes, we have used the same company for an audit for,
Long time.
for a long time, going back at least as long as I've been on the board. The letter of agreement was in the packet that Lisa sent out. Does anyone have any questions or concerns about this
I
process?
don't know if anybody can answer it, but are there any, and I expect not, I wouldn't know, not having been able to read past ones, recent, they're all gone. Are there any changes from the past?
I wouldn't say so.
Okay,
No, the management letter basically is verbatim what it was, except for the fee.
okay,
And my name instead of Russ Wise, it's named
Right,
that
right.
this change. Okay, so any further discussion, any questions? Then I need a motion to approve, hiring UHY, thank you, my brain is not all here. To do our annual audit, Jordan and Heather. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, thank you. We're up to announcements already. You've already had one announcement that if you were at NILA to give your form to Pamela. And also in your manila form, there is the reimbursement for mileage. So please fill that out by the end of the year and you will get reimbursed for your mileage coming here. Any other announcements that we need? Tim has been working on a public comment policy. Last month, we had someone, with a public comment. We need to do a better job of keeping our mouths closed. Can I say that on the recording? This is where I go off the script. I'm sorry. So this isn't finalized yet, but, by January, it will be in your hands, so we can have a united response to whoever is making a public comment. That's probably more politically correct. Any comments about that? Any other announcements?
Oh, I have some happy news.
Okay.
It made me smile. Let's see. Just find it. Bear with me.
She said, did you mention the travel reimbursement forms in the trustee thing?
Oh, I did mention travel reimbursement, trustee training. By the end of December, you need to send to Pamela your 2 hours of trustee training. If you went to NILA and went to 2 seminars, you're good. Otherwise, if you go online, there's a drop-down menu on our website, and it will lead you to all the best place to go probably would be the handbook for trustees. They're good. Yeah, there's a whole series of like 20 webinars now that you can look at. So
What is the drop-down menu under? Which one of
it
these?
says trustee support, I think, or something like
We
that.
just we updated it last month.
Just under which of the,
Under trustees.
Under
and
trust,
the trustees? That's easy.
I think
Okay,
it's
thank you.
Down under trustees.
and the form is there now as well, so
Okay.
that's easy for everything in one place.
You can see it.
Trustee training.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So- Just wanted to share this photo of the Easton Library. And,
Wedding.
yeah, they had a wedding and she wanted a picture taken in front of the Easton Library, which is so sweet. It's a beautiful little library. It's little, but it's so beautiful. And she said she wanted it because it was the happiest and safest place of her childhood.
Oh, wow.
And I saw that and cried.
Yeah.
I saw that and I just thought it was worth sharing
Yeah.
because sometimes, we get here and we talk about all these figures and numbers and we make approvals and stuff, and then we forget that we're all here basically because we love libraries and understand what it means to people.
Sure.
Yeah. Thanks very much for sharing that, Laura.
Yeah.
Okay, if there is no other business, I think we can adjourn at 1:33. No.
It is, yeah.
Happy holidays.
Yes, happy holidays. Oh, no, December. Okay.
All right.
Now we step on my.
You just do it.